Ever been told that you're too short to be a great goalkeeper? It can really make you doubt yourself, right? But guess what? Some of the best keepers in history have proven that being small doesn't have to hold you back. In fact, you can actually use it to your advantage. In today's video, we're going to break down 5 proven tips to help you crush it as a goalkeeper, no matter your height. And by the time we're done, you'll know exactly how to make your size work for you, save more shots, boost your confidence, and own your penalty area like never before. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, but Christian, the average goalkeeper in the Premier League is like 6'3". How am I supposed to compete with that? Here's the truth. Sure, being tall helps, no doubt about it, but it's not everything. Just take Iker Casillas as an example. He's only 6 foot tall, and considering the level he played at, that's considered pretty small. But just look at what he achieved. The guy's won everything. World Cup, check. European Championships, check. Champions Leagues, absolutely. And to top it all off, he was voted the best goalkeeper in the world 5 times in a row. So if you're worried about being too short as a goalkeeper, don't be. You got way more going on for you than just your height. But let's also be real. If you're not as tall as the other goalkeepers, you have to work twice as hard to really stand out. Everyone's always talking about Casillas' amazing saves, and trust me, there were plenty of them. But what people sometimes forget is how incredibly few mistakes he actually made. And do you know why he made so few mistakes? It's because he mastered the basics of goalkeeping to perfection. Everything he did was super sharp, his positioning was always spot on, his handling was flawless, and his reflexes, they were just out of this world. But that wasn't just raw talent. That kind of sharpness comes from working harder than everyone else and constantly fine-tuning those basic goalkeeper skills day in, day out. So tip number 1, when you're not the tallest goalkeeper, you have to be the hardest worker on the pitch and master the basics. And hey, if you want to master the basics just like Casillas did, I've got a super beginner-friendly course that walks you through everything step by step. It's packed with tips, insights, and all the skills you'll need, not just for today, but for the rest of your goalkeeping career. You can check it out in the description below this video. Now, let's dive into tip number 2. Alright, so you got the basics down, you're working super hard, and you're feeling good. But sometimes, no matter how well you play, people will still doubt you because of your height. Just picture this, you're trying out for a new club, you're absolutely crushing it, making save after save, and your confidence is sky high. But then the coach pulls you over and says, "Kid, you're doing great, but you're just too short." Ouch, right? It's like all your hard work doesn't matter because of your height, but being a shorter keeper doesn't mean that you're at a disadvantage. It just means that you have to lean into your other strengths even more. And this is where explosiveness and footwork come in. You see, being shorter actually gives you a huge advantage that taller goalkeepers don't have: a lower center of gravity. This means that you can be more agile, quicker on your feet, and better at changing directions. But these strengths don't just happen overnight. You've got to train them. Plyometric exercises like squat jumps, box jumps, and skater jumps build that explosive strength in your legs so you can move faster, jump higher, and dive further. And when you can out-jump the competition, a few inches of height don't matter as much. Here's the thing though. All that explosiveness means nothing without sharp footwork. It's like having a super fast car with no steering. You got the power, but no way to control it. That's why agility drills are just as important. Cone drills that focus on side-to-side movements, quick accelerations, and sharp change of directions will help you move faster and stay in control. The real magic happens when you combine explosiveness and sharp footwork. You'll react faster, cover more ground, and make those big saves other keepers might just miss. And with the right training, you can out-move, out-jump, and out-save the competition. And now that we're on the topic of jumping high, let's dive into the one challenge that every short goalkeeper has to deal with. And we've all been there. A cross comes flying in, your heart skips a beat, and you think, I should probably go for that. But you hesitate and fall back to your line. It's totally normal to feel a bit of fear when you're up against those taller strikers and the high crosses come flying in. Even the taller goalkeepers feel that pressure. Take David De Gea for example. He's 6'4", and when he was at his best, he was easily one of the best goalkeepers in the world. But even he didn't come off his line for crosses that often, and when he did, he'd usually punch the ball instead of catching it. Today's game's faster than ever, the strikers are getting better, the balls are lighter, and those crosses are whipped in quicker and with more power. As a shorter goalkeeper, knowing when to punch instead of catching can give you a serious edge. If the ball is coming in fast or the box is packed, just punch it clear, because it's always better to be safe than sorry. Right? Claiming crosses is actually a lot less about height than you might think. It's more about timing, bravery, and making the right decision.
Did you get that?
You don't need to come flying out for every cross. Sometimes staying on your line is the better move, but if you hesitate, that's when you get caught in no man's land. Don't get me wrong though, being tall gives you extra reach, no doubt about it, but if your timing is right, your decisions are spot on, and you got the confidence to go for it, you can handle crosses just as well as anyone else, maybe even better. And real quick before we move on to the next tip, drop a comment and tell me what topic I should be covering next. It really helps me make better content, and it's a super easy way for you to support the channel and show me some goalkeeper love. Alright, next up, let's talk about someone who completely changed the game for short goalkeepers. Ever heard of George Campos? This guy was only 5'7", which is pretty small by goalkeeping standards, especially at the level that he played at. You see, Campos wasn't just a great shot stopper, he was unbelievable with the ball at his feet. In fact, he was so skilled, his coaches would sometimes play him as a striker, and he was pretty great at that too. That comfort on the ball set him apart from all the other goalkeepers that were a lot taller. And the best part, these are skills that you can work on too, no matter your height. If you can master your distribution and get comfortable with the ball at your feet, you're already way ahead of your game. So work on your ball control, your passing, and your distribution, and trust me, you'll see how quickly people will notice the difference in your game. Alright, we've talked about working hard, being explosive, commanding your box, and mastering distribution. All key parts of goalkeeping, no doubt. But there's still one more thing we need to cover that could really make or break your game as a shorter goalkeeper. And let me ask you this, what do Iker Casillas, Gianluigi Buffon, and Manuel Neuer all have in common? Yeah, they were all amazing goalkeepers, but that's not what I'm getting at. There's something else that really made them stand out, something you can have too. And no, I'm not talking about their height, it was their leadership. Now, before you start thinking leadership, but I'm not the tallest guy or the biggest presence on the field, hear me out. Being a leader in goal isn't about how loud you can shout or how big you are. It doesn't matter if you're 5'7" or 6'5". Leadership starts with you. It's about how you carry yourself, how you communicate with your team, and how calm you stay under pressure. You don't have to be shouting the entire game. Most of the time, clear, simple calls like man on or step up do the job. But leadership doesn't just happen on game days. It's something you build in training by showing up every day and outworking everyone else. So the next time you step on the field, lead by example, because it's not your height that makes you a leader, it's your actions and attitude. And speaking of attitude, do you know what else top professional goalkeepers are really good at? Saving penalties. And if you want to know the simple trick that helped me save 4 out of 8 penalties in a cup semi-final, then you should go and watch this video right now.